Hello and welcome guys and gals to Ashes Bashes Gaming, your destination for discovering new and exciting games. Today on your screens we have Skyfleet, which is a tower defense and base building game where you are master and commander on the far side of the sky. Now this is published by Enno Games and is developed by just one person. I think he's done a really amazing job, so let's get started and show you what he has created. Now this is your base which you have to defend and make stronger. How do you make it stronger? With the basic element called Duraphyte. Now Duraphyte is this yellow rocks which are obtained either by farming or by defeating enemies, and its main purpose is to build new buildings. So I'm going to start off by placing a few Duraphyte farms so that in the long run we can pick up our pace for Duraphyte production. Also, you will notice that all buildings need a power generator to function. If the total amount of power consumed falls behind the total amount of power produced, you will notice that many of your buildings go offline. You will also notice that all buildings have an increasing rate or an increasing cost. This means that you should actually think and build up your buildings, and especially for your turrets you have to maintain a variety of the turrets that you build. You need to specially keep this in mind while you're building your generators, because once you build too many generators the costs become astronomical. So you need to plan out your defenses and the number of turrets and other buildings that you will be setting up. Now the other resource you need to be collecting is iridium, which are these purple crystals you see on specific islands. This is the main resource you need to be upgrading your ship and outfitting it with better armor and weapons. So this must be your second priority after you finish building your farms and before you can start your assault on the enemy. Who is the enemy, you ask? Well, the enemy are alien invaders called Binocs, who are out to exploit all the resources available and completely destroy your Sky Island world. Your job is to defeat them before they do so. You will notice in the middle top corner the health of the islands is mentioned and is basically your timer which you need to beat. So let's start the Iridium Collection by building a generator followed by an extractor which harvests the minerals. We can build only one extractor per Iridium Island, so we will need to pick our spot carefully and protect the investment with some turrets. Now in every such forward base, I also build a shield generator which provides a force field for nearby buildings and basically increases their durability. Now the unique thing about this game is that you have to destroy the enemy base while all the time defending your base from waves of enemies who come periodically. So how would you do that? By building turrets. Now there are different types of turrets such as the missile and grenade launcher turrets which do splash damage, or the shotgun turret which fires multiple short range bullets, and tank turrets which has a weak attack but a lot of health. Many people prefer to strengthen their base by heavily investing in turrets there, but I prefer to use a mixture of all types of turrets in my forward bases to protect my iridium extractors while also pushing back the front line. Another building which really come in handy for this purpose are outposts. Outposts are basically towers which you can convert to your side by destroying them. They have good health and attack and are a solid anchor to build your forward bases around. If your forward base has an outpost, then two supporting turrets would be more than enough to hold the line. Be warned, the outposts work both ways, so in case the enemy managed to destroy your outpost, they would convert it to their cause. Now I prefer to use my ship as bait, as I have noticed that enemies always target me and pay no heed to my towers. So I get them on my tail and rush back to my lines where my turrets riddle the enemy full of holes and do my work for me. Two more buildings worth mention are the ammo farms and the armory. The ammo farm is basically where bullets are grown. I don't know how that works, but hey, we shouldn't ask inconvenient questions if we don't want inconvenient answers, right? So Every time your ammo goes low, you can come in there and refill. The Armory is where you spend your iridium and purchase better weapons. Now personally I like the cannon best because of its high damage, but I understand the charm of the minigun and the homing missiles too. So to each his own. You can also equip a secondary weapon which is basically an ability. I mostly use the force field as an additional shield which can be used to get me out of a tight spot. Now the good thing about the game is that regardless of which weapon you have equipped, the ammo farm has got you covered. No questions asked. Again, I prefer to build both these buildings much later and closer to my front lines so that I don't have to traverse the map for my supplies. As they say, offense is the best defense, so let's discuss how to attack. I strongly suggest that initially you don't use your iridium at all and let it stockpile. It doesn't really matter if your ship gets destroyed a few times in the beginning, as respawns are free. Once you have a considerable amount of iridium, you invest in primary and secondary weapons as well as upgrade your shield and health. I say this because you will lose all your upgrades every time you get destroyed. So it would make more sense to build your ship up like a tank in one go after you have spent considerable effort solidifying your position on the map. Now, your shields recharge after a short duration while out of combat, so scurry away while taking too much damage. Your health on the other hand does not recharge and you need to heal yourself from the islands. Just go up to any plain old island and you will find an option to heal. Keep in mind that this too would drain the health of your islands, thus reducing the amount of time you have. So use this as a last resort only. You would notice that while upgrading your shield and your health, the costs go up. Every level that you upgrade costs more. This is why I say stockpile your resources and spend them to make a super ship. You will often come across clusters of enemy turrets and it is not worth fighting them head on. Just focus on their shield generators first, and once they are down, then take out their power generators, all while dancing away nimbly, and you will notice that you will have your work cut out for you. A turret without power is no turret at all. Use the same principle while assaulting their base, but their base will have strong ships as protectors, and I advise building a line of turrets just outside the range of their turrets and drawing the enemy towards your structure. This extremely forward base gives you a good position to fall back and recuperate, and makes short work of your enemies as they come in range of your turrets. Rinse and repeat as much as needed. Their base is extremely powerful with very strong ordnance, so you will not survive a head-on fight. Simply take out their 2 mega generators and that would render their base useless, and then you can step in and mop up. Now, like any other tower defense game, there is a bit of grind involved, but I really like the mechanics and the premise of the game, and I think that there is a vast potential for growth. PvP and PvE game modes are currently available, and I think that as it grows, they would introduce clans and many other customizable features to make it more interesting to the players. Considering that this was created by just one single guy, I think he has done a hell of a job, and I'm excited to see how he makes his baby grow. If you like what you saw, then go ahead and wishlist it on Steam. You can find the link in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, then smash that like button and consider subscribing to my channel so that you can discover new and exciting games daily. This is Ashes Bashes signing off. Until next video, game on!